రమేష్ సార్
అదేంటి రైట్ కి పెట్టింది పోడియం ఇటు పెట్టారంట్రా చూసారా
I call upon Rahul Yao, second BA, Political Science, will welcome her with a bouquet. I would also like to welcome Professor B.V. Muralidhar sir, all the way 700 kilometers from Tirupati SV University, Professor and Head of the Department, Political Science and Public Administration from Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. Sir, please welcome. I call upon Madhurya, second BA Political Science, to welcome him with a bouquet. I would take the privilege to call Srimati Dr. Sita Mahalakshmi Madam, lecturer in Political Science, Government Arts College, Autonomous, Rajamahendravaram, on to the dais to chair her place. I call Gautami, second BA Special Telugu students, to honor her with a bouquet. My respectful welcome to Vice Principal Sir C.V. Prasad Sir from Maths Department to kindly occupy his chair. I would like to call Shravya of second BA Political Science to welcome him. My sincere welcome to Srimati B.V.B. Lakshmi Madam, Head of the Department Political Science, SKR GDC Rajamahendravaram for Women, on to the dais. I would like to invite IKC Coordinator Sunita Madam to please honor her child onto the dais, and Student Council Chairman Neeraja Madam to come upon the dais and honor her chair. I would also like to call Venkayamma Madam, History Department, Head of the Department of History, to please honor her chair. Thank you one and all for being here for a special occasion which is knowledgeful and a thrust area on the Indian political system and Indian constitution. We are going to start our major and main program here. I seek everybody's attention. Now let us start the program with lighting the lamp. I request all the students, please stand up for the lighting the lamp by proceeding to Principal Madam. Let us all clap as we are garlanding the portrait of Srimati Kandukuri Rajalakshmi Madam. I request all the dignitaries to come upon the dais and stand for the prayer song. I request all the dignitaries to come upon the dais and stand for the prayer song. I to call Viharika of 2nd BA Political Science to sing prayer song.
Vande Vande Gajananaya Nandi Savahana Siva Priyaya Vande Vande Gajananaya Nandi Savahana Siva Priyaya Sakala Vidyalaku ఆది గురుడవు సర్వలోకముల అగ్రపూజ్యుడవు సకల విద్యలకు ఆది గురుడవు సర్వలోకముల అగ్రపూజ్యుడవు సర్వాభీష్టదాయ సకల శుభములిడే సర్వాధారా సర్వాభీష్టదాయ భవాయ సకల శుభములిడే సర్వాధారా సరిగ పగరిగ పగ పని సగరి సని పరి సని పగరిగ పని సా వందే వందే గజాననాయ నంది సవాహన శివా ప్రియాయ वन्दे वन्दे गजाननाय नन्दीशवाहन शिवप्रियाय नन्दीशवाहन शिवप्रियाय शिवप्रियाय शिवप्रियाय.
Thank you, Viharika. She deserves a big round of applause. I request the dignitaries to be seated and I hand over the session to our beloved principal, Madam Srivalli, Madam. Seminar introduction by myself, B.V. Lakshmi. Myself, B. Vijay Bharathalakshmi from the Department of Political Science. It is my privilege to anchor today's seminar on Indian Constitution in the 21st century, challenges and future prospects. I am truly delighted to be part of this intellectual platform where we reflect on the relevance and future of the Indian Constitution. I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to you for this national seminar, which is being supported by Dr. N.B. Gupta, Commissioner of Collegiate Education, Dr. C.H. Krishna, Joint Director, Commissioner of Collegiate Education, AP, and Dr. Krishna Ji, Regional Joint Director of Collegiate Education, Zone 2. It is a pleasure to have you all here today as to discuss one of the most important topics is highly relevant in the present context because it connects constitutional ideals with contemporary challenges has to rethink the role of institutions and citizens in strengthening democracy. Distinguished faculty, scholars, researchers, and my dear students, we have esteemed experts joining us who will share their valuable knowledge and perspectives. This seminar will provide a deep academic understanding of the Indian Constitution as a dynamic and evolving document. This seminar enhances our intellectual understanding of how the Constitution continues to function in changing political, social, economic conditions. This seminar provides a meaningful platform to critically examine the evolving nature of constitutional democracy in India. It helps us understand contemporary challenges such as institutional accountability, protection of fundamental rights, also and federal dynamics. At the same time, it highlights the prospects of strengthening constitutional morality, social justice, and inclusive governance. Overall, the seminar enriches our academic understanding and encourages responsible citizenship. It helps participants critically analyze its role in the 21st century. Throughout the session, we encourage you to engage with our speakers by asking questions and sharing your thoughts. Let's make this an interactive and informative experience for everyone. Without further ado, let's get started. Please join me in welcoming our intellectual resource person of today's seminar, Professor E. Venkatesu sir, Department of Political Science, Hyderabad Central University. Namaste sir. Next, Dr. B.V. Muralidhar sir, Department of Political Science, SV University. Welcome sir. Namaste sir. And also my dear friend and Dr. K. Sita Mahalakshmi Madam, Lecturer in Political Science, Government Arts College, Autonomous Rajamahendravaram. Thank you so much
And now I request principal introduction by Nageshwari from 2nd BA, Political Science.
Good morning to all. My name is Ash Nageshwari. I am doing 2nd BA Political Science. Respected chairperson, distinguished speakers, esteemed faculty members, and my dear friends, it is my privilege to introduce our principal madam, Dr. Srivalli Garu. Dr. Srivalli Garu studied BA Sanskrit in 1998. Gautami Vidyapeetham, Rajahmundry, and got university first in UG. BEd Sanskrit, Shiksha Shastri in 1999. RS Vidyapeetham, Tirupati, and won first rank in entrance examination. MA Sanskrit in 2001, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and won first rank in AU set and also secured gold medal in PG. PhD completed in 2009, RS Vidyapeetham, Tirupati. Topic, Setu Bandhana Mahakavya Paryalochanam. Joined services in 2002 as grade 2 Telugu Pandit in ZPP High School. 10 years worked in ZPP High School. From 2011, working as a Sanskrit lecturer in Government Degree College, Rajahmundry. Present, working as a principal, SKR GDC Women's College, Rajahmundry. Thank you.
Thank you, Nageshwari. Next, now I request Principal Dr. Srivalli Madam to give the opening remarks of the one day national seminar.
Namastabhai. Good morning to all. Myself, Dr. P. Srivalli, FJC Principal of SKR GDC Women. Respected dignitaries, esteemed resource persons, faculty members, research scholars, and dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this national seminar on Indian Constitution in the 21st century, challenges and future prospects. The Constitution of India is not merely a legal document. It is the soul of our democracy, reflecting the vision of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity envisioned by our founding fathers under the leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. As we move deeper into the 21st century, the Indian Constitution faces several dynamic challenges ranging from federal tensions, electoral reforms, social justice concerns, technological transformations, human rights issues, and the evolving role of institutions. At the same time, it offers immense prospects through constitutional morality, democratic resilience, and participatory governance. This seminar provides a meaningful platform to critically examine these issues and reflect on how constitutional values can be strengthened in contemporary India. We are deeply honored to have distinguished scholars with us today. I warmly welcome Professor E. Venkatesu, Professor of Political Science from the University of Hyderabad, whose academic contributions to Indian politics and public policy are widely recognized. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to Dr. B.V. Muralidhar, Professor and Chairman, BOS, Department of Political Science and Public Administration at Sri Venkateswara University, whose scholarship and guidance have greatly enriched the field of political science. My sincere welcome to Dr. Kasturi Sita Mahalakshmi, lecturer in Political Science, Government College Autonomous, Rajahmundry, whose academic commitment and engagement with contemporary political issues add valuable insight to our discussions today. I am confident that the deliberations of this seminar will intellectually stimulate all participants and encourage critical thinking about constitutional governance in present times. Let this gathering strengthen our commitment to democratic values and constitutional ethics. I congratulate the departments of Political Science and History for organizing this timely and significant seminar and wish the program great success. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam, for your opening remarks is relatively suitable today's topic. Thank you so much, madam. Sir, Professor Venkatesh okay. Now, I invite my colleague M. Venkayamma to introduce Dr. Muralidhar sir. Venkayamma garu. Venkayamma garu. Hello.
Dignity of the dais, my colleagues, my friends, and my students. It is privilege to introduce my B.V. Muralidhar sir, Professor and Chairman, Board of Studies, Department of Political Science and Public Administration at Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. An alumnus of the same university, he succeeded third rank at the PG level and went on to complete his MPhil and PhD. He was the first UGC JRF Direct Award of his department, a specialist in international relations and foreign policy. He has published widely and achieved significant international recognition for his research. Professor Muralidhar sir has held several key administration professions, including head of the department, dean and arts, director of student welfare, principal, and chief warden. He has guided 21 authored and edited 13 as well as addressed numerous national and international conferences. Professor Muralidhar sir, inspiring mentor, actively participates in sports activities. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes.
Thank you, madam. Now, I invited Dr. B.V. Muralidhar sir to present his lecture on 76 years of Indian Constitution and a critical analysis, sir. Sir, please welcome, sir. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. Please. Now I request Padmaja introduce Venkatesh.
Good morning, sir. It's my great privilege to introduce Professor E. Venkatesh sir on to the one-day national seminar, which was organized in Srimati Andukuri Rajalakshmi Women's College, Rajamahendravaram. I would like to take the privilege to introduction of our beloved keynote speaker of today's session. Professor E. Venkatesh sir has completed his higher education from Hyderabad Central University and Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. At present, he is working as a professor in the Department of Political Science, Hyderabad Central University, and part of the Center for Study of Developing Sciences, Lokniti Network. He was a faculty in the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. He worked as training and research coordinator in Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty. He is a fellow member in Sir Ratan Tata Trust, Nandi Foundation. He has been a member of the International Public Policy Association. He was the coordinator of the National Advisory Cum Review Committee on Backward Regions Grant Fund constituted by the Ministry of Panchayat Raj, Government of India, and chaired by V. Ramchandran, the acting chairman of the Second Administrative Reforms Committee 2009 and 10. He was a member of the delegation led by the Union Minister of Panchayat Raj and Rural Development, Government of India in 2010 to Norway. He addressed local governance in India to the delegates of two countries near Nobel Peace Center at Oslo, Norway. His areas of interest are public policy, governance, and election studies. His articles are published in the Economic and Political Weekly, and Routledge publishes his writings in the form of books and chapters in edited volumes. He has been writing articles for Hindu, Indian Express, Outlook, Frontline, etc. He has been a regular contributor to dailies and has extensively participated in discussions over electronic media. He has completed more than 40 research projects and 30 papers have been published in national and international journals and edited volumes. He has been a regular resource person for National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj and Dr. Marri Channareddy Human Resource Development Institute of Telangana, academic institutions and civil society organizations for the training of the elected public representatives, officials, academicians, and NGOs. He is a member of the expert committee constituted for designing the BA Honours course by Telangana State Higher Education Council 2021. He was a member of the committee for the implementation of the new Education Policy 2020 by the University of Hyderabad. He visited Norway, Bangladesh, Singapore, and USA. I take the privilege to welcome him onto the session. Welcome you, sir. It's a great privilege to see you and listen to your valuable words. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Sir, namaste, sir.
Hello, namaste andi.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I invite to presentation on Indian institution social transfer. Thank you, sir. Let's begin, sir.
Yeah. Am I supposed to start or Dr. Murli is starting? Am I supposed to start? Hello? I can't hear from you. Hello? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Hello? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Professor V.V. Muralidhar, Department of Political Science and Public Administration, Sri Venkateswara University. Dr. Sita Mahalakshmi, Faculty Member, Department of Political Science, Government Arts College, Rajamandri. Principal of SKR, Government Degree College, Dr. P. Srivalli Garu, the organizers of the webinar, BVB Lakshmi Garu, Venkat Narayanamma, Venkayamma, and Lakshmi Bai and Padmaja. In fact, I am privileged to be a part of this webinar, which is being organized by the Department of Political Science of this degree college. But the thing is that I am far away for a few hundreds of kilometers. It is I don't know to what extent my address will be a facilitating or convincing you on nowadays, because of in the post-corona period, the webinars, online webinars has become a practice. It is the norm of the entire world. And indeed, the topic that has been chosen by the Department of Political Science of this college is quite relevant and appropriate. The relevance of the Indian Constitution in the 21st century. Probably most of you must be familiar with the basic elements of the 21st century. Now, right from the beginning of the new millennium, it is well-known fact that at least two important factors which have brought together the entire world. Number one, the globalization. Number two, there is also an argument that has been emerging, which is known as deglobalization. The third one is the advancements of the information and communication technology. The technology is from e-governance to digital governance to today. We are all talking about the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Any query, please? Someone is trying to talk to me. That is the one. And the second, when you look at it from the internal point of view, the Indian context point of view, it is a well-known fact that India as a signatory on the Sustainable Development Goals. Now the Sustainable Development Goals has become a top priority, not only the Indian state government of India, but also different parts of the world, whatever the countries which have signed on the Sustainable Development Goals. So that is the another important context. And another harmful or more critical context, when you look at the series of the reports that have been coming up, whether you look at the Human Development Report, the Social Development Reports, and then Economic Development Reports, which are all together indicating that there has been a large-scale inequalities in the Indian society. On the one hand, there are the argument, there has been a substantial evidence that the level of the poverty has come down in post-independent India. However, the ratio of the inequalities have been increasing. That is why the Nobel laureate Amartya Sen says that within India there has been a Washington, New York, India on the one hand, and Sub-Saharan Africa, Somalia on the other hand. Within India, there is a Somalia, Sub-Saharan Africa, as well as the Washington, New York, India. That means the level of the inequalities which have been raising is an unimaginable. Some people want to live in the 100 crores worth of villa, and at the same time, largest chunk of the people have been shelterless. That is the one trend. And at the same time, we can also see the series of the international organizations, international donor agencies like Oxfam and UNDP and other organizations have clearly brought out that the 85% of the people have got only 15% of the wealth, whereas the 15% of the people has got 85% of the people. That is the another source of indication where there has been a large scale disparities and inequalities which have been existing in Indian society. So therefore, in this context, we need to understand a question that, see, on the other hand, India has been becoming a part and parcel of the global economy. India is also part of the obtaining of the latest technology. India is also developing itself and reducing the poverty. And today, there is no extreme poverty in the country. That is why already some of the states like Kerala have openly declared that Kerala is the extreme poverty free state. And in this context, what is the relevance of the Indian Constitution? Whether there has been a relevance or not. That is the fundamental question that is being raised. See, when you look at the context of the commencement of the Indian Constitution, the historical forces which have produced the Indian Constitution, the basic value system, the institutions, the objectives which have been set by the Indian Constitution, still they are relevant till date. You know, what the Indian Constitution says, that the equality, the liberty, the fraternity, the secularism, social justice, the value system which has been imbibed in the Indian Constitution, incorporated in the Indian Constitution in the preamble, that is the very big agenda of the contemporary Indian society. Therefore, the Indian state, Indian government, etc. Therefore, we need, that is the, there lies the relevance of the Indian Constitution. But you may get a doubt that the Indian Constitution has came into existence more than 7 decades ago. What is its relevance in the contemporary period? Because the Indian Constitution was produced by the historical political forces, the historical and political, historical, socio-economic context that has produced the Indian Constitution. No, like any constitution in the world. You know, say for example, the French Revolution has produced the value system. The American Revolution has produced the American Constitution. The many European revolutions, the many European social movements are produced in order to, as part of the transformation of their political system, which have produced the new constitutions. Subsequently, in India, also, the important political forces which have produced the Indian Constitution, which includes number one, the Indian National Movement, that is led by Indian National Congress and Mahatma Gandhi, the anti-caste movement led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and a series of the social revolutionaries, and anti-feudal struggle led by the communists. These are the three important political forces. When you read Gail Omveda's book, Dalits and Democratic Revolution in Western Colonial India, Gail Omvedath, a foreign scholar, an American scholar, she has brought out that these are the three important political forces behind the making of the Indian Constitution, the producing of a mighty Indian Constitution, a powerful Indian Constitution, and the powerful Indian Constitution is not merely a legal document. It is not merely a legal document. Am I audible to you? Am I audible to you? Is it clear? Am I audible to you? I hope that you are all able to hear me. So, as I said that three important political forces, that is the Indian National Movement led by Mahatma Gandhi, Indian National Congress and Mahatma Gandhi, the anti-caste movement led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and anti-feudal struggle led by the communists, all together produced the Indian Constitution. So, Indian Constitution is it is not merely a legal document. The producers, the makers of the Indian Constitution, the Constituent Assembly, were not merely produced a legal document. The Indian Constitution, it is not merely designing the value, is not merely designing certain legal procedures, is not designing merely some institutions, but the Indian Constitution has been setting the agenda which is supposed to be followed by the rulers, the the elected public representatives, the recruited bureaucrats, the judiciary, the executive, the legislature, all together, you are all as an institutions, the constitutional bodies, you are supposed to work for achieving certain goals. These goals of the post-independent India have been clearly stated in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Part 3, that is Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, dealing with the directive principle, fundamental rights of the people, which have been ensured to the citizens, which are legally guaranteed to each and every citizen in this country, cutting across whether you are a men, women, lower caste, upper caste, whether you are in Telugu, English, Hindi, whatever the religion, cutting across all these parochial identities, the Indian Constitution has ensured the equal rights, the rule of law, the rule of law, and the directive principles. The directive principles of the state policy are very important, crucial element in the Indian Constitution to provide a direction to the rulers, in order to provide a direction to the rulers. What sort of direction you are supposed to take, which way you are supposed to take. Everyone knows that sun is rising on the east and setting on the west. That is the direction. The sun has got a everyday timetable, a calendar, but similarly, the policy makers, the policy executives, the policy interpreters are also supposed to have some direction. The direction of the Indian people, the direction of the Indian Constitution to the rulers of this country is to work for the well-being of the people of this country. That is in the form of making policies, in the form of the making acts, in the making of the proper guidelines, guiding of the people, and etc. So without the Constitution, and there is a possibility for some set of a vagueness, there set of a chaos, confusion in the Indian society. And what is the nature of that direction, and what was the kind of social transformation that was expected by the makers of the Indian Constitution in this country through the Indian Constitution was that making an unequal society to be an equal society, a egalitarian society, the egalitarian society where everyone is supposed to be an equal rights, equal opportunities. That is why if you have seen, there is one song in a movie, that is what is called as a title of the movie is Ramudu Bhimudu. Okay, in that movie there is a song. What is that song? Undile manchi kalam mundu munduna, andaru bagupadali nandanandana, Gandhi Mahatmulu kalaganna రోజు రాబోతుంది, నెహ్రూ కలగన్నటువంటి సామ్యవాదం రాబోతుంది, అంబేద్కర్ కలగన్నటువంటి సామాజిక సమానత్వం రాబోతుంది అంటేనని ఆ సినిమాలో ఆ సాంగ్ లో చాలా స్పష్టంగా తెలియజెప్పారు. సో ఈ సాంగ్ యొక్క ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే ద బేసిక్ ఫండమెంటల్ మెసేజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సాంగ్ ఈస్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ద క్లియర్ కట్ మిర్రర్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండియన్ నేషనల్ మూవ్మెంట్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ది spirit of the Indian Constitution, the spirit of the Indian Constitution. So, therefore, the Indian Constitution is not only a legal document, it is not only a legal document for the policy making, it is a document, it is a powerful legal instrument for the every citizen of this country in order to control the rulers of this country. It is a controlling of the rulers. It is an Indian Constitution is an instrument to control the rulers of this country. The Constitution has been ensuring certain rights and entitlements to every citizen of this country through the legal guarantees. Whenever there has been a violation of the rights of an individual or a citizen, you can approach the court and seek the justice. Seeking of the justice is a fundamental right in the Indian Constitution. So because of Indian Constitution is an instrument for the social transformation, Indian Constitution that has been providing the institutional design, the Indian Constitution ensuring the rights and entitlements of the citizens in order to obtain the justice. Therefore, the Indian post-independent rulers have initiated the series of the policy transformation, the policy initiatives in order to bring out the policy transformation in the post-independent India. The first and foremost important initiative in order to reduce the inequalities, in order to reduce the poverty, in order to reduce the regional imbalance, in order to reduce the gender gap, men and women, gender gap in the Indian society, the first policy initiative that has emerged from the rulers of this country was the abolition of the Jamindari system and the introduction of the land reforms policy. So that is one of the radical policy initiative of the post-independent rulers, it is because of the Indian constitution that forced the rulers of this country to introduce the land reforms. Otherwise, in this country, there was a possibility for the existence of the Jamindari system, the Jagirdari system, the feudal system, the caste system, as well as the caste domination, etc. were going to be the elements because of the constitution that has led to the downsizing of the land holding. The land was one of the important source for the domination, social domination in the society, because of the constitutional objectives which are reduced the economic, in order to introduce the economic inequalities, reduce the economic inequalities in the Indian society. The rulers have brought about a radical act. Through the act, it is because of the Indian constitution, the untouchability has been prohibited. It is because of the Indian constitution, the first constitutional amendment act. You know, you must be, as a student of political science and as a citizen of this country, you must be aware that soon after the commencement of the Indian constitution, there was a case in the Supreme Court. That case was challenged by Champakam Dorai Rajan in the Supreme Court of India. The contested issue in the Supreme Court was that in the Madras government, there was a communal GO. According to the communal GO, there was a reservation policy for the different social groups. However, after the introduction of the Indian Constitution, on the basis of the right to equality, all are equal before the law, on that constitutional provisions, Champakam Dorai Rajan challenged in the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India has verdicted that the communal GO which was in operation in the state of Madras is not valid. Struck down that GO. Then there was an agitation in the country. There was a political upheaval in the country. So the first Prime Minister of the country, Jawaharlal Nehru, realizing the growing dissatisfaction in the Indian society, on the conviction of Kamaraj Nadar, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, the first constitutional amendment was introduced in order to provide the social justice to different categories of the Indian society. It is because of the rulers of this country, the judiciary, have realized that here is a constitution. The constitution has been ensuring the social justice. The fundamental purpose of the social justice is to making of the unequals as the equals. That is the underlying principle. That is the most important underlying principle of the notion of the social justice in the Indian constitution. That is making of the unequals as the equals. What is meant by the making of the unequals as the equals? It is a very big concept for the arguing on the basis of the social justice. That was the idea which has been contributing for the social transformation while using of the Indian constitution. So unequals means in a socially degraded society, structurally, hierarchically structured social system, all the human beings are not treated equally. There are social inequalities in a caste-ridden society. All the people are not equally treated. There is a graded inequalities in the Indian society. To make all Indians as the equals, the idea of the social justice has been introduced in the constitution. Since there has been the idea of the social justice, despite the Supreme Court verdiction on communal GO, the post-independent rulers were forced in order to bring about the constitutional amendment to the Indian constitution. So that shows the importance of the constitution as well as the importance of the asserting of the idea of the social justice by the different social categories in the Indian society. So that is the another one. Apart from that, the rulers of this country also contributed immensely in order to transform the directive principles of state policy into the policy agenda. The policy agenda, because of the policy agenda, there was a community development program in 1950s in order to fulfill the Gandhian principles, in order to establish the socialistic pattern of the society, through the land reforms, through the industrialization process, through the community development programs, and subsequently in order to provide the self-sufficiency in the food production in this country, to no one should die due to lack of food. Because of that was also one of the important obligations of the Indian Constitution that has been enshrined in the directive principles of the state policy. Because of every citizen must have assured source of livelihood. So therefore, the Constitution has started making of the laws. The Constitution has initiated the policy measures for in order to provide the guarantee of the food security system that has been ensured in the Indian Constitution. Similarly, another most important radical agenda that has come up onto the public policy making because of the directive principles of the state policy was that before 2009, the free and compulsory education for each and every child from the age of 6 to 14 years was given in the directive principles of the state policy. The directive principles of the state policy was not a legal right. Because of the efforts of the series of the public, intellectual, civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations, intervention of the legal system, judiciary, and many people, there was a demand from the civil society. Therefore, the directive principle, that is the education, has become a fundamental right through the free and compulsory education for children in the age group of 6 to 14 years from 2009. So that means that shows the importance of the Constitution. The directive principles are the directing mechanism. Similarly, you can also see for the direct participation of the citizen, in the decision making. You must have seen, you must have heard in the newspapers, in the textbooks, in your lecture, in the series of the lecture that you must be hearing from your lecturers, that Switzerland was the only one country in the world that has been providing direct devices for the participation of the citizen. But the Indian Constitution, in the process of making amendments to the directive principles of the state policy, the Indian Parliament has made an amendment for the provided the constitutional status to the local body institutions through 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Therefore, it has provided a constitutional status to the Gram Sabha and for the direct participation of the citizen. The Gram Sabha is the platform where the citizen can directly participating in the raising of their concern, their grievances, their problems, and then their conflicts and various issues which have been brought into the light. Subsequently, the Indian Constitution, the judiciary, because of the Parliament and civil society agitation, the Constitution also, because of the existence of the Constitution, it has become a transparent and accountable democracy. Because transparent, accountable democracy, Indian democracy has been moving merely from the constitutional democracy to the transparent, accountable, citizen-centric democracy. It is because of constitution advancement as well as due to the acts. Say, for example, Right to Information Act. The Right to Information Act is one of the strong weapon in the hands of the citizen. The Indian Constitution that has been mentioned, in the fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution that has been said in one of the even Supreme Court also said that the right to information is the part of the right to life. In the part 3 of the Indian Constitution. And subsequently, in 2005, the government of India has introduced the right to life as the fundamental right, constitutional right to each and every citizen in order to obtain the information from the public authorities, whether it is from the union government, state government, or local government, or any institution that has been receiving the funds from the public institutions. So that means because of the fundamental rights, the directive principles, and the preamble of the Indian Constitution, today the Indian democracy has been shifting from a mere constitutional democracy, which to a transparent, accountable, citizen-centric democracy, citizen-centric democracy. And citizen participation, citizen is also realizing that importance of their role in terms of decision making, in terms of deciding who should be my ruler, whether the particular individual is supposed to be whoever I am casting my vote is supposed to be the ruler, or someone who is supposed to go and represent my interest is supposed to be the ruler, representative. So therefore today the citizens have been realizing that their massive participation in the elections, if you look at in 2024 elections of Andhra Pradesh, about 84% of the people have casted their vote. Imagine, even the old people, the old age people, the young people, the first time voters, the women, all these people are in a massive manner have participated in casting of the vote, because of every citizen, every voter have realized that casting my vote in the elections is my constitutional obligation, and I am going to participate in deciding who should be my ruler and who is supposed to be my representative, in order to articulate my voice, my interests, my grievances in the law-making bodies like State Legislative Assembly and National Assembly like Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in this country, the Parliament of this country. So that shows the importance of the Constitution, and then it's downward percolation into the citizen, downward percolation of the citizen. Today, because of everyone has been realizing about their rights and entitlements, and importance of their number in the electoral politics. Therefore, you can also see, as part of deepening of the Indian democracy, deepening of the Indian Constitution, recently, just before 2024 election, the Parliament of India has also passed an act providing of the 33% of the reservations for the women, 33% of the reservations for the women in the Indian Parliament. That means from 2029 election, 33% of the women is going to be the public representatives in the Indian Parliament. Subsequently, even when you look at the 3 decades of the experience in the local body institutions, the women representation, even though they were given 50% of the reservations in the local bodies, but now their representation has been increasing to 56%. 56%. That is beyond the 50% of the half of the sky, the women representation. So that means over a period of time, the importance of the representation, the number game, because of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has ensured each and every citizen of this country that equal rights, the political rights, one citizen, one vote, one citizen, one vote. Every citizen will be, whatever the citizen, whatever the social group that you are belonging, whether you are scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, economically weaker sections, general category, poverty ridden, urban, rural, women, whatever the social identity, every one of you will be having the right to vote on the principle of the equality before the law after attaining the certain age. That shows the greatness of the Indian democracy. That shows the greatness of democracy. Today, because of India is being identified at the global level, because of the kind of principles which have been enshrined in the Indian Constitution, and I have illustrated a series of the examples also, how the Indian state has responded to the post-independent India in response to the preamble of the Indian Constitution, directive fundamental rights and directive principles of the state policy. How much time still you are giving me? Bharati Garu? Still how much time you are giving? Still how much time you are giving, Bharati Garu?
Hello.
Still how much time you are giving?
Yes, sir. 45 minutes enough, sir.
Okay. So,
Within 5 minutes, sir.
okay, fine. So I have basically highlighted the historical factors which have contributed for the commencement of the Indian Constitution, the important key elements of the Indian Constitution, the policy response of the post-independent rulers, whether the state level and the national level, what the kind of acts and policy initiatives which they have been introducing, which have been contributing immensely for the social transformation, for the different social segments and social category of the Indian society. And still the Indian Constitution, because so many the directive principles are yet to become the acts in the Indian Constitution. Therefore, the Constitution in the 21st century is also relevant, and in the 21st century also there have been a lot of inequalities. There has been a gender-based discrimination. There has been a disparity between the rural and urban areas, and we are also supposed to become a part of the global competition. That is what today the government of India has been stating that the Viksit Bharat, the economic growth that is achieving of the $30 trillion economy by 2047. So therefore, in the context of mere generation of the wealth is not sufficient enough, but distribution of the wealth is also very important. The distribution of the wealth is possible only when you are, as an individual, as a citizen, as a public institution, as a public officer, as a public representative, lawmaking body, judiciary, and executive, all are committed for the Constitution, constitutional values. Then only it is possible to reduce the inequalities, travel. The journey of the India will possible towards egalitarian social order in the Indian society. That is crucial or the significant principle on which the Indian Constitution has been functioning, enshrined, and let it continue for the future generations. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to interact with you. Thank you. Please unmute. I can't hear you.
Thank you, Sir Evantu sir. Your lecture was truly enlightening and provoking. You beautifully explained how Indian Constitution aims to establish social, economic, and political justice. You have highlighted how the Indian Constitution serves as a transformative document. Yes, exactly. I agree with your opinion, sir. Indian Constitution is not only legal document; it is a transformative and instrument legal document. Indian Constitution is a instrument and transformative document. So Indian Constitution provide equal rights and equal opportunities for every individual without discrimination. Thank you so much, sir. Excellent lecture. It is useful for all academicians. We have highlighted how the Indian Constitution serves as a transformative document, especially in addressing social inequalities and empowering marginalized sections. Your explanation of the vision of the Constituent Assembly and the relevance of the constitutional morality in present times was remarkable. Now, students, this is the platform to raise your doubts. If you have any doubts, you can ask the questions now. Please come. Please come forward.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Divya. Good morning, sir. My name is Divya, second BA Political Science. My question is, what are the major challenges faced by Indian Constitution?
Yes, Divya, you have asked a very good question. There are plenty of the challenges. Number one, there has been a social deficit of democracy. The first and foremost challenge is that social deficit. There has been when you look at the social profile of the elected public representatives, it is the richest of the rich people. When you want to become an elected public representative, you are supposed to spend a few hundreds of crores. When you look at the economic profile of the elected public representatives, we have seen in 2 Telugu states, one parliament member, when you go by the election commission affidavit, one parliament member submitted more than 5,000 crores from Andhra Pradesh. Another parliament member from Telangana submitted in his affidavit to the election commission more than 5,000 crores. So in such a context, even when you look at so many other candidates, also in the election affidavit, they have produced 1,000 crores, hundreds of crores property. So in such a context, whether is it possible to the common people, the poor, the common citizen, a common citizen who has gotten an ideological commitment and also a sincere, honest worker, political worker want to become the public representative and raise the concerns of the people. So now election has become a costly affair. Election has become a costly affair. If you have the money, you can contest in the elections. Yes, Constitution has been ensuring right to equality. But when you look at from the socio-economic profile of the elected public representatives, the money has become very important. The caste, dominant caste phenomena has become another important factor in terms of deciding of the electoral contestation. You have the education, you have the intelligence, you have the motivation to work for the community. You are ideologically committed. You are a constitutionalist. But do you get the opportunity to get elected as a public representative? That is the serious challenge. One is the serious challenge. And then another one is that the technological divide. The technological in this another important thing is that certain limited section of the society has been entering into the getting benefited the artificial intelligence and technology and making largest chunk of the people, displacing of the largest chunk of the people. There are no employment opportunities, unemployment, then basic rights and entitlements. That is the one. Third one is the violation. In the tribal areas, in the Dalit areas, in the poorest of the poor sections of the society, whether are they able to seek the justice while approaching the court? Because of whenever you approach a court, there has been a lot of delay. Now, the delay is not merely few days, few months, but years together, decades together. That delay is the another important challenge. Then the now only advantage, only channel that has been available because of the mainstream media, like the TV channel, the print media is also not listening to the common people. Now only way through which the common people articulate themselves is the social media. In the social media, you must become a social activist in order to set right the kind of problems and challenges which have been existing in the Indian democracy, and keep on articulating, keep on articulating your interest in the social media that can provide a platform for you. Okay, Divya.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anis.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. My name is Naga Pratyusha. Why is the Indian Constitution called living?
Pratyusha, Naga Pratyusha, can you repeat the once again question? I have not heard properly.
Why is the Indian Constitution called a living document?
Okay. Yes. The concept of the living document was advocated by the eminent academician, legal expert by name Upendra Bakshi. Okay. Even Ambedkar also says that. Ambedkar also says, agreed with the Indian Constitution is a way of life. It is a living constitution. And Upendra Bakshi also agreed and interpreted in and around which, and there has been a lot of literature. You know, one of the constitutional experts who wrote the cornerstone of the Indian Constitution by name Grevenel Austin said that Indian Constitution has got three important objectives. Number one, social revolution. Indian Constitution is an instrument for the social revolution. Number two, Indian Constitution is an instrument for the protection of the democracy. And number three, Indian Constitution is an instrument for the national unity and distribution of the wealth. Indian Constitution is an instrument for the distribution of the wealth. So that means it is to ensure it is supposed to work as an instrument for social revolution, deepening of the democracy and distribution of the wealth. So living constitution means you are supposed to assert the rights which have been ensured in the constitution. As per your rights, you are supposed to demand the Indian state, the state government, local government, and the union government for your rights and entitlements. Unless until you demand, you won't be fulfilling your constitutional rights. So Ambedkar sense, Upendra Bhakti sense of the living constitution means you are every day in your day-to-day life, you must commit, your commitment is for the constitutional ideals. When you get down in the early morning, you have to remind that today I must, my behavior today is supposed to treating and every one besides me, before me, behind me, with all respect, dignity, equality, because my neighbors are also having the equal rights. I must respect them. That is a constitutional right. So that every day your day-to-day life is supposed to be guided by the Indian Constitution. Is supposed to be guided by the Indian Constitution. That is the essence and meaning of the living document. Indian Constitution as a living document. Naga Pratyushna. Okay, right.
Thank you, sir. Next, thank you. Now I invite present his 70 years of Indian Constitution, a critical analysis, sir. Thank you, sir. Venkateshu, sir.
Okay, thanks, and
My invitation, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Once again.
Okay. I am missing Professor Muralidhar lecture and Dr. Sita Mahalakshmi lecture because I got another engagement. I have some meeting. Thanks for inviting me to address in this webinar. Thank you.
We too, Andy. Venkatesh garu.
Okay.
Okay, big round of applause to my learned colleague, Professor Venkatesh garu, for his elaborate lecture. Chala mandiki arthamaindadu, artham chesukovalsina paristhiti vastundi. That's the reason why this seminar has been organized. So let me give my greetings from the Department of Political Science and Public Administration of Sri Venkateshwara University, Tirupati. I am Professor B.B. Muralidhar, Professor and Nijaga Professor and Apadamaina Professor. Mala doubt rav. Assistant Professor at the age. I became Professor at the age of 40. 24 సంవత్సరాల కంటే అసిస్టెంట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ అయ్యాను రెగ్యులర్ పోస్ట్ లో 42 సంవత్సరాలకు ప్రొఫెసర్ అయ్యాను. And I was a student like you guys. So first, thank Miss Niharika for her nice invocation. Chala baga chepparu ma. Because enduku cheptunna ante nenu next one is Venkayamma garu for presenting my CV. I have 3 CVs. Tarvata cheptaru. And to the president of today's seminar, the principal of SKR Government Degree College for Women, Rajamandri, Dr. Srivalli garu. The student Srivalli annarandi. Sir must be very happy. Yes. Dr. Nitya and the 3 Lakshmis. Those 2 and the other one. Muggar Lakshmilu unnarandi ikkada. And all my learned colleagues, they are not other colleges, Andhra Pradesh and rest of the country, young student friends, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasant morning to each and every one of you. Madam చెప్తున్నారు లాస్ట్ లో కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళకి చెప్తున్నారు మొబైల్స్ మళ్ళీ ఆఫ్ చేసేస్తే బాగుంటుంది. లాస్ట్ వెంకటేష్ గారంటే అక్కడ ఏం అర్థం కావడం లేదని మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా ఒక రెస్పాన్స్ చేస్తారు. మామూలు ఈ టైంలో క్లాస్ లో కూర్చోకదు వే అని చెప్పేసి అదే కదా ప్రాబ్లమ్ మా మేడం వల్ల అని చెప్పి. I know the mentality of the students because I was like you. But I never missed my duty. Never missed my duty. ఆ 3 CVs గురించి చెప్తున్నాను. I have one academic CV for the last 38 years. 38 సంవత్సరాలుగా నాకు అకాడమిక్ CV ఒకటి ఉంది. 52 సంవత్సరాలుగా టెన్నిస్ CV ఉంది. "52 years I have been playing tennis regularly. I'm a university captain, played in Kakinada, played in Vijayawada, played in Guntur. 133 tournaments ఆడాను, right from local level to international level. My second brother plays tennis, my third brother plays tennis, my daughter plays tennis, my son plays tennis. ఒకటి, ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి టైం ఉన్నది 24 అవర్సే. మేము చాలా బిజీ అనుకుంటారు. నాకు తెలిసి మీలో 80% యు ఆర్ నాట్ బిజీ యాజ్ యూ షుడ్ హావ్ బీన్. గురించి చెప్పారు, అది నేను ఎందుకంటే నౌడేస్ యువర్ జెన్ ఎక్స్ వై జెడ్ ఏదో అంటారు కదా, ఆర్ ఆల్ఫా. యూ థింక్ దట్ యు ఆర్ వెరీ వెరీ స్మార్ట్, బట్ కంపేర్ టు అవర్ జెన్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్. మేబీ ఇన్ టెక్ యూ మేబీ. Third CV, Director for Students Welfare and Cultural Affairs, right from 2008 September 10th ఈ రోజు వరకు. అందుకని ఇన్వొకేషన్ మేము ఎప్పుడు ప్రతి కల్చరల్ యాక్టివిటీకి స్టూడెంట్ ఇన్వొకేషన్ చేస్తారు. అమ్మాయి చాలా చక్కగా, సో 50% ఇట్స్ డన్ విత్ ఇన్వొకేషన్ కరెక్ట్గా ఉంది. 2000 మంది ఉంటారా? 16 ఉన్నంత ఓపిక నాకుంది. 1601 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నంత ఓపిక నాకుందండి. అది నేను చాలా గొప్పగా, దట్ క్రెడిట్ గోస్ టు మై మామ్ అండ్ డాడ్. Mom and dad. The reason is I lost my mom 21 years old due to leukemia. నేను ఎల్డెస్ట్ సన్, మాకు బ్రదర్స్ సిస్టర్స్ ఎవరు లేరు, మొత్తం ఫ్యామిలీ లాక్కాల్సి వచ్చింది. ఓ పక్క ఎడ్యుకేషను, ఓ పక్క టెన్నిస్, ఒక పక్క బ్రదర్స్ టెన్నిస్, ఓ పక్క ఇల్లు, అన్ని చూసుకుంటూ వచ్చాను. నన్ను చూస్తే మీకు అట్లా అనిపించదు కదా, డెఫినెట్గా అనిపించదు. అందుకని పైన చూసి ఎప్పుడు మీకే చెప్తున్నారు, పైన చూసి పోసిపోయారనుకోండి చాలా ప్రాబ్లంలో పడతారు. Do not believe in fate, believe in yours. That's a good thing. And you have very good quotes also. Struggle is the sign of life. Nothing is going to come. I'm a student of political 83. And PhD చేసేటప్పుడు నాకు జాబ్ వచ్చింది. After that, there is no recruitment. And I have to manage many things at home. We used to depend on maids. And there is no guarantee that they'll come the next day. అందుకే చెప్తున్నాను, మీరు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారో అంతమంది కంటే 1% ఓపిక నాకు ఉందని చెప్పి. మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ అంటుంటారు, రే ఆంటీ చనిపోతూ మొత్తం నీకే ఇచ్చేసిపోయిందిరా ఓపిక. మేబీ సో మీకు అందరికి చెప్పాలి, లాస్ట్లో కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళకు మొబైల్స్ కొద్దిసేపు ఆఫ్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని నేను అనుకుంటాను. మీరు అనుకోకపోతే ఇంకొకసారి చెప్పాల్సి వస్తుంది. దిస్ ఈస్ ఎ సెమినార్ మెంట్ ఫర్ యూ గర్ల్స్, నాట్ ఫర్. మేము చాలా మటుకు చూసేసాం. And if you don't have the patience to sit for 2 or 3 hours in an academic, you are wasting your time, and I think you are not fit to be so. Very simple. అదే ఇక్కడ ఒక ఫిల్మ్ యాక్టర్, పనికిమాల ఫిల్మ్ యాక్టర్ కూడా వస్తాడు, ఫిల్మ్ యాక్ట్రెస్ వస్తుంది, మీ మేడంలందరినీ బయటికి తోసేసి మీరు మాత్రమే ఉంటారు. అంత క్రేజ్. ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ ద క్రేజ్. చూడాలి, బాగానే ఉంది. మా ఆడిటోరియంలో జరుగుతుంది. ఒకసారి వస్తుంటారు నా దగ్గరికి, సార్ తీసుకుంటా టికెట్ అని. ఎందుకు అన్నాను, చూసేదానికి సార్. ఆన్లైన్ నేను చూసేది, అవసరం లేదని. అండ్ యూ డోంట్ మైండ్ గోయింగ్ అట్ 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, stay till afternoon. I don't say you should not, but remember, this is your priority. నెక్స్ట్ ఒక మంచి స్పోర్ట్ ఆడండి, మొబైల్లో కాదు. దీంతో ఆడుతుంటారు మీరంతా, ఇది కాదు. బాడీ ఒక మంచి యాక్టివిటీ నేర్చుకోండి, యువర్ లైఫ్ విల్ బి సక్సెస్. ఫ్రెండ్స్, లెట్ మీ టెల్ యూ, మై డాటర్ వాస్ లైక్ యూ. ఒక చిన్న ఇన్సిడెంట్ చెప్తాను, లైఫ్ ఎంత టఫ్గా ఉంటుందని. 89 వాజ్ ద లాస్ట్ రిక్రూట్మెంట్ నాది. తర్వాత ఇంతవరకు మా డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో రిక్రూట్మెంట్ జరగలేదు. ఒకవేళ ఇప్పుడు రిక్రూట్మెంట్ చేస్తే ఒక్క పోస్టుకు మినిమం 100 మెంబర్స్ నా స్టూడెంట్సే ఉన్నారు. మినిమం 100 ఒక పోస్ట్. హౌ టు ఫిల్టర్ దెమ్ అండ్ మేక్ ద రిక్రూట్మెంట్. సో నో రిక్రూట్మెంట్, అంత కాంట్రాక్ట్ మీద తీసుకునేది. 5,000 10,000 ఇచ్చేస్తున్నారు. బయటికి వెళ్ళామా మోసం చేస్తున్నాం. అందుకనే ట్రంప్ పర్సనల్గా I don't like him because my daughter is also visa. But as a student of administration, let me tell you what he is doing is correct because you made him to do like that. మీకు కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్లో ఈక్వాలిటీ అవి ఇవన్నీ చెప్తున్నారు, ఆ పర్టికులర్ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీకు చెప్తాను, దానికి అందుకని రిలేట్ చేస్తాను. నేను ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ ద థియరిటికల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. లెట్ మీ పుట్ ఇట్. నేను ఇప్పటివరకు 18 కంట్రీస్ చూసానండి. 18 కంట్రీస్. లాస్ట్ కంట్రీ వాస్ కెనడా. -20 degrees నుంచి యుఎస్లో that's my 18th visit to a foreign country. 5 times to US, 6 times to US to visit there. I was an American Fulbright scholar. One of the toughest fellowships in the world. Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, anta tough ga untundo, anta tough ga untundi. Because place at 3 levels. Zonal, national, and the list will be sent to Washington DC. ఇవన్నీ నేను స్టూడెంట్ ఉన్నప్పుడే చూసి you be bit different in not the gossiping, different in your పాజిటివ్ థింకింగ్. మనకు వచ్చిన బ్యాడ్ హ్యాబిట్ ఏమిట్రా అంటే పక్కన కూర్చొని ఈమె గురించి ఆమె గురించి ఇది చెప్తారు. This has been the nonsense which you have been creating in United States, and that's why Trump became so angry. He's kicking us left, right, and center. The problem is that the Indians, the Brazilians, the Mexicans, the Colombians, the Venezuelans, the Chinese, ఈ 6 మంది కంట్రీస్తో ప్రాబ్లం చాలా వస్తుంది మనకు. నేను మాట్లాడితే 2000% పక్కా ప్రూఫ్తో మాట్లాడుతాను. బికాస్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఎ పొలిటీషియన్, ఐఎమ్ ఎ టీచర్ అండ్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు టేక్ సైడ్స్. Taking side is my personal outside, but when I'm in the classroom on the public platform, I want to be a bit balanced. That's what I learned from my teachers and parents. ఇది మీకు అందరికి చెప్పదలుచుకున్నాను. నాన్ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు కదా, ఉన్నారా? ఎస్, ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారండి? ఎంతమంది ఇష్టంతో వచ్చినారు, ఎంతమంది కష్టంతో వచ్చినారు మీటింగ్కు? మిమ్మల్ని అడిగేది లాస్ట్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఒక్కసారిగా చేతిలో ఎంతమంది ఇష్టంతో వచ్చినారండి ఇవి సెమినార్కు? మీ మేడం చేయమంటున్నారు చూడండి, ఏ స్టేజ్కి వచ్చేసిందో. మీరు ఇష్టంతో వచ్చినారు, మీద అంత కష్టంతో వచ్చినారు, తప్పదు. ఓకేనండి, ఇట్స్ లీవ్ ఇట్. Academic learning is a must till you die. As a teacher, నాకు తెలుసు. మా డాక్టర్ ఒకసారి లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళ అమ్మకు ఫోన్ చేస్తుంది, మమ్మీ నాకు రేపు 3 levelsలో స్క్రీనింగ్ అయిపోయింది, 4th levelకి వెళ్ళాలని చెప్పారు. సరే అమ్మా అని చెప్పి అది మాకు ఎర్లీ మార్నింగ్ 4 o'clock, అక్కడ తను ఈవినింగ్ 5:30 ఆ టైంలో కాల్ చేస్తుంది. నేను టికెట్ నేను వింటున్నాను. జస్ట్ అప్పుడే లేస్తూ ఎంత అవుతుందంటే 1,20,000 అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ మన కరెన్సీలో. సరే తప్పదు కదా, 4th level స్క్రీనింగ్. నేను మా ఓకే అని చెప్పినాను. షీ ఈస్ ఆల్సో అమెరికన్ ఫుల్బ్రైట్ స్కాలర్. షీ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ మహిళా యూనివర్సిటీ. మీ ఏరియానే, కాకినాడ కోడలం, నేను కాకినాడ అల్లుడు. సరే అయిపోయింది. ఒక 2-3 days తర్వాత నాకు చెప్పలేదు, నేనేమని అనుకుంటానని చెప్పేసి ఇమీడియట్ విత్ ఇన్ 5 minutes మేడం క్రెడిట్ కార్డులో నుంచి పోయింది. టికెట్ వెళ్ళింది, అటెండ్ అయింది. అటెండ్ అయిన తర్వాత చెప్తోంది, మమ్మీ అటెండ్ అయ్యాను, రిజెక్ట్ చేశారండి. ఐ నో తను మా మిస్సెస్ వచ్చి ఫ్రమ్ సైన్సెస్, బయో సైన్సెస్, వాళ్ళకి అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ కాబట్టి ఐ నో హౌ ద థింగ్. ఒక్కొక్కరు 40 minutes, minimum 30 to 40 minutes bombarded. అని ఒక 30 minutes, 30 వితౌట్ బ్రేక్ 2 hours 20 minutes ఇంటర్వ్యూ జరిగింది. చేసి లాస్ట్ అన్నారు, మాన్విక విల్ లెట్ యు నో ఆఫ్టర్ 1 day అని. స్వీట్ న్యూస్, చాలా కూల్గా మెయిల్ పెట్టాడు, యు ఆర్ నాట్ సెలెక్టెడ్. And she has spent 1,20,000. The stress and strain which she must have undergone, I know it. And she is a tennis player కాబట్టి అదే అంటుంది, నేను టెన్నిస్ ప్లేయర్ కాబట్టి తట్టుకున్నాను డాడీ అని. నేను చెప్పేశాను, నీకు లాస్ట్ జూన్ వరకు టైం ఇస్తున్నాను, గెట్ ఎ జాబ్ వెల్ అండ్ గుడ్, అదర్వైజ్ లేదు డాడీ నేను తెచ్చుకుంటాను. ఇన్ 1 month she got a job with $80,000 package per year in CVS Pharma. $80,000 into $90. Work, not possible. And if you don't work, nobody can help you. And remember, this is the stage where you have to learn. From political science or public administration or history or geography, this is the topic which they have chosen, which is very. And I want to tell you, how many of you know what the constitution is? కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అంటే ఏమిటి? లాస్ట్ లో కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు, నాకు ఎందుకో లాస్ట్ బెంచ్ మీద బాగా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అనమాట, అందుకని నేను కూడా అక్కడే కూర్చునేవాడిని. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అంటే ఏంటండి? మిమ్మల్ని త్వరగా చేస్తే మన ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఎక్కడ, ఒకసారి వెళ్తారా? నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ కండి, నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్? ఎవరో ఒకటి చెప్పండి అండి, నేను చెప్తాను మళ్ళా. ఇప్పుడే మీ ఆయన చెప్పారు కదా వెంకటేష్ గారు, అట్లీస్ట్ ఇన్ తెలుగు అమ్మా. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అనేది ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ విచ్ గివ్స్ డైరెక్షన్ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ లైక్ మీరు షిప్కు లైట్ హౌస్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఏరోప్లేన్స్కి ఏం కావాలండి? ఏరోప్లేన్స్కి ఏం కావాలి బాబు? పైలట్ కావాలి సార్. పైలట్ కట్టిన తర్వాత ఏం కావాలా? ఏం కావాలా? ఏం బాబు ఏం కావాలా? ప్లెయిన్లో ఏముండాలి? టు షో ద డైరెక్షన్ వెన్ యూఆర్ స్కైస్లో. ఏంటండి అమ్మా ఇట్లయితే? దీస్ ఆర్ ద సింపుల్ థింగ్స్. సో షిప్స్కి ఎట్లయితే లైట్ హౌస్ అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్, బికాస్ ఇట్ షోస్ ద వేర్ ది షోర్ ఈస్. ఒక 2-3 kilometers దూరంలో ఆపేస్తాడు. ఈ రాడార్ కూడా అంతే, వన్స్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ ద స్కైస్ యూ డోంట్ నో విచ్ డైరెక్షన్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్, అండ్ ద రాడార్ సేస్ ద డైరెక్షన్ విచ్ యూ హావ్ టు గో. అట్లా ఈ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ కూడా ప్రతి ఒక్క కంట్రీకి ఇంపార్టెంట్, బోత్ ఫర్ ద రూలర్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ద రూల్డ్. పరిపాలించే వాడికి, పరిపాలింపబడే వాళ్ళకి. But there is only one country in the world which doesn't have a constitution of its own. Can you tell me which the country is? మీరండి. ఒక కంట్రీకి మాత్రం కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లేదు. ఒక కంట్రీ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లేదండి. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లేకుండా నడుపుతున్నారు. మీరు ఒక్కసారి ఊహించుకోండి, రాజమండ్రిలో పోలీసు వాళ్ళు లేకపోతే ఎట్లుంటుందని. 3, 4, 5 మంది, వీలైతే పోలీసు వాళ్ళని కూడా ఎక్కించుకుంటాం. అంతే కదా? ఇండియాలో పుడితే చాలా అడ్వాంటేజ్ అండి. యూ కెన్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఆన్ ద రోడ్స్ అండ్ గెట్ అవే విత్ వెరీ ఈజీలీ. Very easily. My God, unimaginable. And if you go out, then you are out. చెప్పండి. ఓకే, సో ద మేకింగ్ ఆఫ్ సో కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ రాయాలంటే అసెంబ్లీ అన్నది అవసరం. వాట్ ఇస్ మీన్ బై అసెంబ్లీ? I don't want any technical. నేను మీ టీచర్ని అడగడం, మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నా, స్టూడెంట్స్ని. అసెంబ్లీ అంటే ఏమిటండి? ఏమ్మా? ఏ పర్లేదు, అన్ని మనకు తెలియాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. కరెక్ట్ అయితే వెల్ అండ్ గుడ్, కరెక్ట్ కాకపోతే నేను చెప్తాను. చెప్పండి. మీరు రేపు ఉద్యోగాలు కూడా ఇలా సిగ్గుపడతా ఉంటే కష్టము. ఆ ఉద్యోగం ఇచ్చేవాడు మరీ ఎక్కువ సిగ్గుపడతాడు. దానికి ఏమండి? అండ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ విత్ యూ ఈస్, నేను స్టూడెంట్ గారు మా టీచర్ చెప్పేవాడు, డౌట్ ఇమ్మీడియట్గా అడగండి. పక్కన వాడు ఏమనుకుంటాడు, ఎదురుగున్నవాడు, పైన వాడు ఏమనుకుంటాడు అని పక్కన పెట్టేస్తే దెన్ యూ విల్ ఇంప్రూవ్. మీకున్న మెయిన్ యాటిట్యూడ్ ఏమిట్రా అంటే, నా పక్కన నా ఫ్రెండ్ ఏమనుకుంటాడు. వాళ్ళు అనుకుంటేది ఎట్లా అనుకుంటారు, మిమ్మల్ని ఏం ఆపలేరు, ఎవ్వరు ఆపలేరు. వాళ్ళు అనుకునేవాడు ఎట్లా అనుకుంటానే ఉంటాడు. అలాగని చెప్పేసి మీకున్న డౌట్ని మీరు క్లారిఫై చేయకపోతే ఎట్లా? లేదండి, యూ హ్యావ్ టు, otherwise it's going to be very, future is going to be very very tough. స్ట్రగుల్, ఎంత స్ట్రగుల్ చేసినా కూడా ఇంకా కష్టపడ. అసెంబ్లీ మీన్స్ ఏ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ కమింగ్ టుగెదర్. objective to write the constitution. అందుకని దీన్ని కాన్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ అసెంబ్లీ అంటున్నారు. అర్థం? సో ఈ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ రాసేందుకు ఒక అసెంబ్లీ ఫామ్ అయింది. దాని వెనక ఎంత పెద్ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఉంది తెలుసా? నేను యూపీపీఎస్సీకి వాల్యుయేషన్ పోతుంటాను. మీకు పనికి వస్తాయి. ఏదో వచ్చి చెప్పేసి క్లాస్లో కూర్చున్నాం కదా, మేడం చెప్పినారు వచ్చి కూర్చున్నాము, ఎక్కడ ఆలోచిస్తున్నారంటే ఆలోచిస్తూనే ఉంటారు. పుణ్యకాలం గడిచిపోతుంది, మళ్ళీ తర్వాత ఎవరు ఏం ఆపుకోలేరు. బికాస్ ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఇస్ ఎ మస్ట్ ఇన్ యూపీఎస్సీ అండ్ ఏపీఎస్సీ ఎగ్జామ్. ఆ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ మీరు కానీ ఈజీ. స్పీకింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇట్ స్టార్టెడ్ ఇన్ 1933. 1933లో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది మనం? కరెక్ట్. బయట చూస్తే తెలియదా సార్ అని అంటాం. సో 1933 ఫస్ట్ టైం వైట్ పేపర్ పబ్లిష్ చేస్తారు ది బ్రిటిష్. యు ఆర్ స్టిల్ ఆన్ ద కంట్రోల్ ఆఫ్ ది బ్రిటిష్. 1933లో వైట్ పేపర్ చేస్తారు. ఏమిట్రా అంటే, దిస్ ఇస్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. అండ్ ఇన్ 1934 ఫర్ ది ఫస్ట్ టైం ఎ ప్రపోజల్ మేడ్ బై M. inspired by Russia and became చూడండి ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిందో. అందుకని మా పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఉంటుందండి, చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఊరికి ఇప్పుడు ఎంఎన్ రాయ్ చేద్దాం అనుకోండి, మనం సోవియట్ యూనియన్, ఫార్మర్ సోవియట్ యూనియన్ ఎందుకు క్లోజ్గా ఉన్నాం? బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఎంఎన్ రాయ్. ఎంఎన్ రాయ్ ఎవరు? హి వాజ్ ఎ కమ్యూనిస్ట్, ఫస్ట్ కమ్యూనిస్ట్ ఇన్ ది నేషనల్ కాంగ్రెస్. కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీలో ఆయన కమ్యూనిస్ట్. ఆయన నెహ్రూ క్లోజ్ అయినాడు. ఆ నెహ్రూ క్లోజ్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఈయన నా ఫ్రెండ్ అనుకోండి, ఆ పక్కన వెళ్తే ఆటోమేటిక్లీ బికమ్స్ మై ఫ్రెండ్. That's how after 1947 India became closer to Soviet Union than to United States, even though it was a democratic country. And remember, in social sciences, 2 into 2 doesn't make 4. 2 into 2 can be made 5. So punch. హిందీ తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరున్నారు? హిందీ తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరున్నారండి? అమ్మాయి ఒక అమ్మాయి ఉండండి. దో పాంచ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే 2 రెడ్ల ఎంత అవుతుందండి? క్యామా దౌర్ కిత్నా? 4. 4 బట్ ఆ సినిమాలో 2x2 5. ఆ 5 ఎవరిది అంటే స్మాల్ బాయ్. అతని చుట్టూ సినిమా రివాల్వ్ అవుతుంది. వింధ్యా గోస్వామి అండ్ పర్వీన్ బాబీ వర్ ద, నేను కాలేజ్ డేస్ లో చూశాను. అమితాబ్ బచ్చన్ అండ్ శశి కపూర్ వర్ ద హీరోస్. సో 2x2 can be made 5 provided you give the reasoning. మా పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ లో ఉన్న అడ్వాంటేజ్, సోషల్ సైన్స్ లో ఉన్న అడ్వాంటేజ్ అదే. డోంట్ బిలీవ్ ఆల్వేస్ ద టీచర్, డోంట్ బిలీవ్ వాట్ యు రీడ్, బిలీవ్ యువర్ మైండ్. I always tell my students to look into the mobiles. ఆ లాస్ట్ బట్ 1 రో, ఈ సైడ్ నుంచి లాస్ట్ బట్ 1 రో కొంచెం మొబైల్ చూసుకోకపోతే బాగుంటుందండి. నేను చాలా గమనిస్తానండి, ఎందుకంటే నేను టెన్నిస్ ప్లేయర్ కదా. టు బి వెరీ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్. నా ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయి 6 months అవుతుంది కోర్స్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి, బిఏ పబ్లిక్ పాలసీ అండ్ ఆంథ్రో. ఒక విధంగా కూర్చున్నారు క్లాస్లో, చెప్తున్నాను స్టాప్ చేశారు, ఏం మాట్లాడారు పార్లా. సింపుల్గా చెప్పిన, there is a way to sit in the class. 2. అప్పటి నుంచి నాకు ఫ్యాన్స్ అయిపోయినారు వాళ్ళు. మీరు ఇష్టానుసారంగా క్లాస్ లో కూర్చోవడం అన్నది ఎట్లా జరుగుతుందండి అని. నేను 8th month లో ఎప్పుడో అయింది. బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళు కూడా అట్లే చెప్పినారు, చూద్దాంలేండి అని. In 1939 the Second World War started. Everyone was busy how to independence to it, or some of the South Asian countries or African countries. సో ఒక 6 years వార్ జరిగింది. ఆ మధ్యలో క్రిప్స్ మిషన్ వచ్చింది, క్విట్ ఇండియా మూవ్మెంట్, క్యాబినెట్ మిషన్. ఈ క్యాబినెట్ మిషన్ 1946 లో వచ్చిన తర్వాత దెన్ ఇట్ వాస్ ఫైనలీ ఫెల్ ఆన్ ద బ్రిటిష్ దట్ దే ఆర్ లూజింగ్ దేర్ పవర్ స్టేటస్. ఇంకా మా వల్ల సూర్యుడు అస్తమించని సామ్రాజ్యం అంటారు. సన్ నెవర్ సెట్స్ ఆన్ బ్రిటిష్ సాయిల్. ఫార్మర్ సోవియట్ యూనియన్, వీళ్ళిద్దరు సూపర్ పవర్స్ వచ్చారు. జర్మనీ, ఇటలీ, ఫ్రాన్స్, జపాన్, బ్రిటన్, దే లాస్ట్ దేర్ స్టేటస్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బెస్ట్ ఇండికేషన్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ వన్స్ లైఫ్. ఈ రోజు నేను బ్రహ్మాండంగా ఉండొచ్చు, రేపు నేను కరెక్ట్ గా లేకపోతే ఐ మే గో డౌన్. రిమెంబర్, ఈ రోజు మీరు బ్రహ్మాండ నెంబర్ 1 ఉండొచ్చు క్లాస్ లో, అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ రీడ్, ఇఫ్ యూ హావ్ ఓవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్, యూ మే లూజ్ ఇట్. అందుకే ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. నేను ఈ టీచ్ చేస్తాను, ఐఆర్ ఫారెన్ పాలసీ టీచ్ చేస్తాను మా స్టూడెంట్స్. దాంట్లో ఇండియాకి ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఇవ్వాలనుకున్నారు. ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఇచ్చిన దెన్ దే సెడ్ దే వాంట్ టు హ్యావ్ ఆ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అసెంబ్లీలో ఎంతమంది అంటే 299. రిమెంబర్ దట్ మెంబర్స్. అది కూడా ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అవ్వచ్చు. హౌ మెనీ మెంబర్స్ వర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ది కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అసెంబ్లీ? 291, 299, 3 అడిగేవాడి బట్టి ఉంటుంది. మేము కూడా రాసేదాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది సార్ అంటారు. కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్ రాయండి, కరెక్ట్ మార్క్ వస్తుంది. అంతేగాని వాడేదో అడిగినాడని చెప్పేసి మీ ఇష్టం చెప్పండి. స్టేట్స్, చీఫ్ కమిషన్ ఆఫీసర్స్ అండ్ ఇండియన్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ అందరినీ కలిపి చేస్తారు. చేస్తే దీంట్లో ఒక్క పార్ట్ వచ్చి ఏమిటంటే ముస్లిం లీగ్. నాట్ వాట్ టు డూ దట్. కాంగ్రెస్ చాలా స్ట్రాంగ్ గా ఉంది. సో వీళ్ళని తట్టుకోవాలంటే మనం అంటే వీళ్ళు పోయి మేము కంటెస్ట్ చేయమండి అన్నారు. సెడ్ ఓకే. సడన్లీ మహమ్మద్ అలీ జిన్నా చేంజ్డ్ హిస్ మైండ్. హి సెడ్ హి ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు కంటెస్ట్. జస్ట్ 1 month ముందు మహమ్మద్ అలీ జిన్నా సెడ్ హి ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు కంటెస్ట్ ఆర్ ది ముస్లిం లీగ్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు కంటెస్ట్. దెన్ రిజల్ట్స్ వచ్చినాయి. 199. 499 పెడతాడు కదండి, అట్లా వాడు ఎట్లా 1 రూపీ మనకి ఇవ్వడు. ఆ 1 రూపీతో వాడు ఓటు సంపాదించినాడు. యు నో విచ్ కంట్రీ ది బాటా బిలాంగ్స్ టు? బాటా ఏ కంట్రీ అండి సార్? ముస్లిం లీగ్ కు 73 వచ్చింది. సో ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కాంగ్రెస్ గెలిచినట్టే. అండ్ నెహ్రూ, పటేల్ అండ్ అదర్స్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఫార్మ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్. నో, ఇంకా మా ఫైనల్గా వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు విత్డ్రా అని చెప్పేసి దే అక్యూజ్డ్ ది బ్రిటిష్ గవర్నమెంట్. మీ వల్ల వీళ్ళు తయారు, మేము ఓడిపోయినాము అని చెప్పేసి యాజ్ యూజువల్. సరే అంత అయిపోయింది. ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కాంగ్రెస్ వాజ్ ఆస్క్డ్ టు స్టార్ట్ ది అసెంబ్లీ అండ్ ఇట్ వాస్ ఆన్ December 9th, 1940. మిమ్మల్నేనండి, మిమ్మల్నే. మీ డేట్ ఆఫ్ బర్త్ చెప్పాల్సి లాగా మేము ఎంత సింపుల్ గా రాసేస్తాం సార్. అంబేద్కర్ కు వాళ్ళ టీంకి ఏం పని ఉంది సార్? 2-3 సంవత్సరాలు తీసుకున్నారు. మాకు ఇచ్చేసి ఉంటే ఆయన ఎదురుగా ఆయన పాపం ఒక్క నిమిషంలో. ఇప్పటి వరకు చాట్ జీపీటీ వచ్చి 1 year పైన అవుతుంది. ఐ నెవర్ యూజ్ చాట్ జీపీటీ ఆర్ AI బికాజ్ ఐ యూజ్ మై మైండ్. మా టీచర్లు నాకు కొద్దిగా నేర్పించినారు. నేను చాలా మంది మా స్టూడెంట్స్ అడుగుతుంటారు, లెటర్ రాసుకున్నాను అంటే తీసుకుని వస్తారు, దాన్ని తెలిసిపోతున్నాను. నేనేమంత అమాయకుడు. ఎక్కడి నుంచి చాట్ జీపీటీ చూసి AI చూస్తాను. వెరీ గుడ్. కొంచెం అప్పుడప్పుడు మీ బుర్రని when things are difficult. నేను ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం నుంచి వచ్చాను. ఐ కుడ్ హావ్ ఈజీ. లెట్ మీ కరెక్ట్ మై సెల్ఫ్. ఇదంతా ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది అంటే మీ అప్బ్రింగింగ్ నుంచి వస్తుంది, మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ నుంచి వస్తుంది. సరే, దట్స్ గుడ్. బాబు నీ పేరు? తెచ్చిటారు, తిరుపతి నుంచి తెచ్చి నీకు ఇచ్చింటారు. డ్రాఫ్ట్ దాంట్లోకి 1-3 చెప్పేసి అట్లే పేపర్ మీ స్టూడెంట్ అంతే కదండి. తీసుకునేది జనవరి వరకు ఎందుకు ఇచ్చేస్తారు కదా. ఎస్, ఓకే మా. మన కొంతమంది రిపబ్లిక్ డే కదా, డిఫరెన్స్ చెప్పండి మాకు. అది తప్పి if you don't know, you are not the citizens. commerce or management. Five articles. Don't follow your ఏమిటి ఇన్స్పైర్ చేసింది మనల్ని? Number one is the Government of India Acts 1909, 1919, మీ మేడం మొన్ననే పరిచయం నాకు. This one is a British Parliament system. Democracies and all those things. They have the next one. No. మీకు ఫస్ట్ థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలండి ఓపిక గారు. ఓకే వదిలేండి వాళ్ళకి చెప్పేసేయండి. కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ మీరే. పేరేమిటి, నీ క్యాస్ట్ ఏమిటి అని అడిగారు. నైన్టీన్ 1997 సౌత్ కొరియా అది debate the way it should be. Respect the opponent. అంబేద్కర్ ఎంత కష్టపడ్డారో బిహైండ్ ద సీన్స్ ఇట్ వాస్ సర్దార్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ప్లీజ్. నెక్స్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ అండి. Yes, parliamentary form of government. There was federal politics. పాలిటీ మీద తీసుకొని వచ్చినాడు. వెనకలు చూస్తే parliamentary single citizenship. In 2004, నేను ఒక సెక్యులర్ పాలిటీ అని చెప్పేసి మీరు పోయి అడుగు Sorry. ఇది కొంచెం రివ్యూ చేద్దాం. ఎక్కడెక్కడ level is one friend in private accusing next what to amend the constitutional review. ఏనుకుంటారు చీఫ్ సిఇఓస్ You are out. ఎంతవరకు ఆర్టీఐ నెక్స్ట్ జుడిషియల్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ అయిపోయిందమ్మా ఎందుకు మళ్ళీ లేట్ అవుతుంది government. Constitution is meant for the ruled and the rulers. First the rulers and then the rule. Paul has said, next one. మీరే as said by Professor Venkatesh, a mere lawyer's document. It's a vehicle of life and its spirit is always 6 structure. Very much ఒక లాస్ట్ స్లైడ్
Hello. the remarkable reminiscence of the Constitution of India over 76 years, but constitutional morality. Introduce Dr. K. Sita Mahalakshmi, madam. Okay. Constitutional bodies.
నేను ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా ఒక పని మాత్రమే చేస్తానండి. థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
Good afternoon. My for economics is Hyderabad University and University. Okay. MA from the University of Hyderabad. She has qualified SLET exam. She has served in the prestigious institutions including the National Defense Academy, Pune, Maharashtra, as and has also worked the Panchayati Raj and rural development, contributing and grassroots governance. She is presentations at national and international conferences on them, such as NEP 2020, gender issues, sustainable development, and Indian political thought. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. కదా ఇంకా దీని అవసరం లేదు మనకి. భయపెట్టారు కానీ నేను Put ఏంటంటే లో కంప్లీట్ ఆల్సో వైలెన్స్ అది 97 ఏదైతే చెప్పిందో కంటిన్యూ అవుతున్నాయి అంటే ఇప్పటికి ఏమి మూమెంట్స్ జరగలేదు 19 స్టడీస్
Thank you so much. Basically, thank Dr. Sita Garu for her enlightening lecture on an overview of the Indian Constitution. She explained the fundamental features, structure, and significance of the Constitution in a very clear and a systematic manner. Her presentation helped us understand the foundation of our democratic system. Now, I'd like to welcome our student Chitkala from 2nd BA Major Political Science to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is M. Chitkala from 2nd BA Political Science. Respected Chairperson, distinguished speakers, esteemed faculty members, and dear friends, on behalf of the Department of Political Science, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to our eminent speakers. First and foremost, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor C.E. Venkatesh sir for his enlightening lecture on Indian Constitution as an instrument for social transformation. Sir, your insightful analysis for constitutional values, social justice, and transformative provisions has deepened our understanding of how the Constitution serves as a living document in shaping modern India. I also express my profound gratitude to Mr. Murladhar sir for his critical and thought-provoking presentation on 76 years of Indian Constitution, a critical analysis. Sir, your balanced perspective on our achievements, challenges, and prospect has encouraged us to reflect more serious on working of Indian democracy. I sincerely thank Dr. Sita ma'am for her comprehensive overview of the Indian Constitution. Madam, your clear explanation of its historical background, fundamental principles, and contemporary relevance provided us with a strong foundation to understand its evolution, nature, in 21st century. I sincerely thank our respected chairperson, Dr. Srivalli Madam, for presiding over this session and guiding us with valuable remarks. My sincere thanks to organizing committee, faculty members, research scholars, and students whose efforts and participation made this seminar a grand success. Finally, I thank each and everyone present here for your attentive listening and active engagement. We are now at the end of the program. Thank you.